What's going on, guys? I'm Tommy, and I'm coming at you with an action figure review. Today, I'm going to be reviewing Hasbro The Black Series Holocomm Collection Darth Maul. The second wave of the Holocomm Collection definitely came with some head scratchers for character choices. However, Darth Maul was one that I was actually really excited for. This specific appearance of Darth Maul shows up as a hologram in Season 7 of the Clone Wars, so I'm more than happy to add him to my collection and my Holocomm display. This guy was a Target exclusive for the Black Series in 2024, meaning that you could and still can find him at some of your local Targets. This guy comes in the standard packaging for the Holocomm collection, which is a little bit bigger than the deluxe size packaging for the Black Series right now. You have your Black Series logo up at the top, a nice big plastic window showing you the figure, his accessory, and the accessories for the Holopuck. You have in vertical text here Darth Maul, and a banner down below the window that says the Holocomm collection, as well as the light bulb logo. You have some logos down at the bottom of the box that show you that this needs 3 AAA batteries to be powered. These batteries are not included. On the side of the box here, you have Darth Maul's mural art here. Interesting, they went with more of an animated look for the Holocomm, it looks like, for Darth Maul's face. Still looks really cool and really menacing, and then down here, they have Darth Maul's name. On the back of the box, you have, again, the Black Series logo, Darth Maul's name, and you have a little bunch of text blurbs around the figure telling you it's got a hologram effect, it includes a data chip there, and that it lights up. And we have a generic bio for the Holocomm collection. This bio reads, "Receive transmissions from the dark side with the Black Series Holocomm collection, featuring light-up holopucks." And similarly to the Darth Vader Holocomm collection figure, this guy says dark side instead of a bounty. This guy does not have a bounty on him. He has a little data chip there that says a little blurb there. On the bottom, you have all of your legalese. Please don't feed this action figure to your babies, guys. On this side, we have another Black Series logo. On the bottom, we have even more legalese. And on the top, we have nothing but that hologram effect that they gave to every side of the packaging here. So with the packaging covered, let's get Darth Maul opened and we'll check him out. Alright guys, here are all the contents out of the box. Before we check out Darth Maul or his accessory, we're going to check out the Holopuck here. So this is the same Holopuck that you get with every release for the Holocomm collection. This is essentially a 1-to-1 scale replica of the Holopucks from Season 1 of The Mandalorian, most notably. You have some really nice sculpted pitting here for the metal, as well as some nice sculpted in rivets on the side here. I kind of wish they would put a wash on these. I know I've said this on the last couple reviews, because while the sculpted detail catches nicely in the light, it doesn't look very pronounced. I would love to see some of this beautiful sculpted detail more prominently. On this side here, you'll see that they have cleverly sculpted in one of these rivets to be the button that turns this on and off. On the top here, you do have the holo projector that is painted on the edges, and on the bottom, there is nothing but the panel for your 3 AAA batteries. I'd recommend using a #1 size Phillips head screwdriver to unscrew this piece. Once your batteries are plugged in and everything is together, all you gotta do is press the button and it will turn on. Can't really see this on camera, but it is 1 blue light surrounded by 5 white lights. These do flicker seemingly at random. It's really just a pattern that's predetermined. This light show will play for about 30 seconds and then turn itself off automatically unless you hit the button first. However, this can play for up to 30 minutes. All you have to do is hold the button in for approximately 3 seconds and it will play the light show for 30 minutes, turning itself off after that 30 minutes is over, or again, you can manually turn the thing off yourself. Now, setting this off to the side here, we are going to check out the data chip, not a bounty chip. So this is done, these are all interchangeable from release to release in the Holocomm collection. It's some translucent clear plastic with some red paint text here. This one in Arabic reads, "Await the dawn." Whatever that means. I think maybe it's a Crimson Dawn reference. Maybe that's like their logo or their motto or something, but it's kind of lame. Whatever. Aside from that, this does have a peg down at the bottom. There is a peg hole that corresponds on the top of the Holopuck. You just plug this in, and there you go. Your data chip is now connected to the Holopuck. I would definitely recommend posing the figure first before you attach the data chip, because it is very easy to be knocked off of the Holopuck. So just to avoid that kind of issue or frustration, I would just recommend posing the figure first. Setting this off to the side here, let's now check out Darth Maul's accessory. So this is Darth Maul's lightsaber that he has in Season 7 of the Clone Wars. So this one half here is the Phantom Menace Darth Maul lightsaber, and then this half is Asajj Ventress's half lightsaber here. He's got two lightsaber blades here. This whole thing is done in that translucent blue color they do all the Holocomm figures in. Both of the blades can be detached, and then you would be left with just the hilt here. And then of course the hilt can also separate with another peg, so you can have him hold each end of the lightsaber separately for some reason. This I will show you does have some weapon storage. We'll cover that a little bit later. Okay, now here we have Darth Maul. So like I said, if you got the single mainline release for this version of Darth Maul, I think this was a 2023 figure. This guy came out in Clone Wars packaging in the Galaxy packaging for the Black Series. I think it was right at the beginning of 2023 he hit retailers. This is the exact same release as that. You can expect nothing different between this release and that release. Just the fact that there are no paint applications on this, as with all of the Holocomm figures, this guy is completely barren of any paint applications. He is going to just be the sculpted blue translucent plastic that we see with all of the Holocomm figures. So with that, there's no real point for me to kind of cover any sculpted detail because you can't really see it. So what we're going to do instead is we're just going to briefly cover his articulation. So Darth Maul has got a double ball jointed neck, which is going to give you some really, really nice range. He's got some insane down. He's got some really, really nice up as well. The tilt on this guy is fantastic, and he can obviously look right and left. You got a lot of overlays going on here. So this outer kind of tunic area over his torso is all a rubbery overlay, and the shoulder kind of sleeve pieces here, these outer sleeves, are actually kind of armor pieces. These are also a rubbery overlay that's set on an O-ring system. So there are some butterfly joints that are hidden inside the torso here. As you can see, those have some really, really nice range. He's got a hinge and swivel at the shoulder. Those are going to get you to that 90-degree mark there at the hinge, and then they can swivel a full 360 degrees. I'd recommend keeping that shoulder armor with the arm if you're doing that full 360-degree movement. Down over here, you have some single jointed deep cut elbows. Those are going to get you just past that 90-degree mark of the bend, which is great. And they also have a swivel at the top of the elbow. He's also got some hinge and swivels at the wrists. As you can see, they do swivel, and then at the right wrist, he's got a vertical hinge, and then he's got another vertical hinge at the left wrist here too. He's got a ball joint at the midsection, which is going to have some really, really nice range. And then underneath the rubbery overlay for the bottom of this tunic area, you can see that leg articulation. So all this stuff moves very nicely out of the way for that hip joint, which is on a ball joint. He has a cut for a thigh swivel mid-thigh. That's going to give you some extra range there. And then he's got some deep cut single jointed knees. Those are going to get you about 90 degrees of bend. They also have a swivel at the top of the knee. And then of course, as with most Black Series figures, he does have at the ankles a forward facing pin for rocker and a hinge, which gets you a good amount of forward and a good amount of back. Overall, this is actually really, really good articulation even for 2024, and for how acrobatic Darth Maul is as a character, I think it's awesome that they were able to achieve such great articulation on this figure. So connecting the lightsaber back together, because you cannot have just the Asajj Ventress side for the weapon storage, you can only store the Darth Maul side or both together. There is a little kind of clip on the left side of the belt. You'll just kind of slide the lightsaber hilt down into that. You do kind of have to set it off at an angle, either back or kind of, I guess, forward towards the front. If you try to set it just straight down, it's probably just going to pop right off there, as you can see. So I'd recommend just kind of setting it at an angle. It does look kind of comically large as well, so I really don't know many people that would pose him like this anyway. I prefer to have Darth Maul with lightsaber in hand, but it is an option, and it's not going to pass the shake test either, so that's even more reason not to display it that way. Putting the lightsaber blades back in for Darth Maul's saber here is what that's going to look like when it's back together. It's very easy to do, and getting it in the right hand here is also very simple. I would be kind of, I guess, wary would be a good term for it. When you're having his grip close to the center where the lightsaber kind of separates, it can bend and warp a little bit, so just keep that in mind when you're posing. Let's see how this guy looks when he's on the holopuck here. So Darth Maul does have some peg holes in his heels, and there are some corresponding kind of staggered pegs on the top of the holopuck. And here's what Darth Maul looks like with the the Holo Puck on. This one actually, like the Ezra Bridger one that I reviewed recently, this guy catches a lot of light, a lot more than some of your other Holocomm figures do. You can see it's getting all the way, almost all the way to the shoulders here, and it gets you plenty of illumination up on the midsection too. I'm actually really happy with how this one has turned out, and it's definitely one of the better ones. Obviously, with all the Holocomm figures, you should never expect that light to get all the way to the head of the figure, unfortunately, but I think they've still done a phenomenal job with this one. Somehow, maybe it's because it's a newer engineered figure, the plastic isn't as dense, so it's able to have the light travel just a little bit more. Here's Darth Maul in his kind of famous battle stance from that Clone Wars Season 7 trailer. Again, that entire lightsaber hilt as well as that whole right arm there have been caught by that hologram effect, and I think it's done really, really well here. Unfortunately, the blades are not caught by that effect, but again, it's better than most when it comes to the Holocomm figures, so I can't be too upset. And of course, with it being Darth Maul, you want to get some more kind of athletic poses, and honestly, this guy's getting some Holocomm light shot up onto the torso here, and it looks really, really cool. I gotta say, this is probably one of the most impressive Holocomm figures that I've seen yet, and being the last one that I review for the second wave of the Holocomm collection, this guy was worth the wait. And so here is the complete second wave of the Holocomm collection for the Black Series. There are some really, really good picks in here, like the Ezra Bridger and the Darth Vader, as well as the Darth Maul. However, there are some head scratchers, like the inclusion of May and Osha. Again, I have reviews for all of these figures on the channel now, so if you want to check them out, make sure to go to my playlist for Black Series reviews, and I have all the reviews on the channel. But again, when you get a group of Holocomm figures together, I think it really, really elevates the displayability of these figures, makes them look a million times cooler than just one by themselves. And with that, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this review. I would say if you're going to pick one from Wave 2 of the Holocomm collection, Darth Maul is definitely the one to pick. He's a standout. I think he catches the light of the Holocomm effect way better than any of the other figures in this wave, and he is just a phenomenal figure to begin with, so this guy's definitely the one to go for. With that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did and you're not yet subscribed, subscribe to Blitz Transmissions. I've got awesome Star Wars content coming out all the time. Make sure to check out my social media, all of which is linked in the description below. That's going to be all for this review, guys. I'll catch you for the next one, and may the Force be with you.